Hey, good morning. Welcome to another episode of The American Dream. I'm your host, Craig Soing. Glad to have you here. Of course, my goal with every show is to educate, empower, and engage your American dream. We got a great show lined up. Let's get it started right now. Every single day, you are consumed with information. With the 24/7 negative news cycle and the pop culture that's polluting the airwaves, all selling out for the ratings game. Well, guess what? There's a more positive way to look at life. You live in the greatest city in the greatest country on the planet. Every day with our elite network of professionals, our goal is to educate, empower, and engage. And now it's time to fight for your American dream. All right, now joining us in studio, this guy is an amazing speaker and he's an amazing friend. We got Roberto Monaco, who is the co-founder of
InfluenceOlogy. What's up, my man? What's up, bud?
So today we're hitting a really big topic,
Yep.
which is one of the many things that you discuss when you're on stage in front of thousands of people.
Yep.
What is it?
Is how to change a negative mindset into a positive mindset super fast.
Why do you think people are negative in the first place?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. Programming, they learn from parents' experiences, things they heard, they saw. And what happens is, this is so simple, so powerful, because people don't realize that their negative mindset or the beliefs they have about themselves hold them back. Let me give you an example here. So I do a lot of a public speaking presentation seminars.
Did you say public speaking or puppet speaking?
Puppet speaking. Puppet speaking. And the other day, I was having a conversation with this lady, and for 10 years, she said, Roberto, I want to go out there and speak. I say, why you're not speaking? She goes, because I'm not good enough. Because I'm not good enough. Right? And here's the idea. We all have this puppet speaking. I love that puppet speaking. That's good, man.
This is great.
So it's kind of like this. They show up like, I'm not good enough. I don't have the time. People don't want to hear my story. I'm not as good as Craig Soing speaking, because when you speak on the stage, you're amazing. So people have this negative voice. So here's the idea, okay? And if you get this one idea, I promise you change your life forever. I asked this lady, how long have you been telling yourself that you're not good enough? And she looked at me, Craig, she said, 10 years. 10 years I've been telling myself I'm not good enough. Here's what I told her.
So she's programmed herself to think that way.
Yeah, but check this out. This is crazy. I told her, that's awesome. What do I mean awesome? What I mean by that is this: for 10 years, you put a thought in your head and you hold it. Follow me? So is it possible then that, because one thing that you and I both know, you have the power to hold any thought or idea in your head? Is it possible that today that you hold a different thought, that you are worthy of communicating your message, that you are an influencer, that your story is important, that people want to hear? Think about that.
Let me ask you a question, Roberto. So to me, there's a difference between positive thinking and reprogramming the way you think, right?
Yeah.
Out there's some weeds. You shouldn't pretend there's not weeds.
Yeah.
But the question is, how do you go out and pull those weeds out and focus on the nice stuff out there? So people have weeds in their head. They have negative thoughts in their head. The idea of getting in front of a mirror and just doing rah-rah, that I don't think that's where you're going when you say how you choose what you put in your brain. So what advice would you give someone who has negative thinking to do that 180? How do you get them doing it without the rah-rah stuff, but really genuinely, how do you reprogram?
So the first thing to realize that anybody, you have the power to hold a thought or belief in your head. You have to understand that.
Period.
Right? You have to understand. So if you don't have this understanding, then you can read any book that you won't be able to reprogram your mind. Now, the second thing, you become conscious of your thoughts or beliefs. For example, I have a belief in my head that I wrote it down that goes like this: every time I open my mouth, magical things happen. Now you're thinking, Roberto, that's not true. Well, that's your reality. That is my reality. Right? Because you see, a belief doesn't have to be true in order to help me become a better communicator, influencer, leader. So the way you go about the raw into actual mindset, positive change is, number one, understanding that if you hold a negative thought for 10, 20 years, that means what? You have the power to hold it. And then number two, you become conscious about holding a new thought, you embrace it, and then action. You're gonna take action, because action and results reinforce the new thought process.
So if you could give someone a takeaway today to empower them with this message, what would be your advice, one piece of advice today to give someone an action
Number
item?
one, understand that you're super powerful and you can hold any thought or belief in your head. Number two, write it down specifically. what kind of ideas, thoughts, beliefs that are going to empower you to become a better dad, mom, leader. Number 3, take massive action, because every human behavior is belief-driven. So when you change your belief, the next step is what? Massive action.
Roberto Monaco, the public speaker and the puppet speaker. What's the name of that puppet? Crockett.
Hey, one more thing. Don't speak to inform, speak to transform. There you go.
There's something else, man. I'll tell you, the guy is his energy when he comes in the room, it is infectious, and I hope that our audience can reach out to InfluenceOlogy.com.
InfluenceOlogy.com.
Love it. Traveling the world, speaking, and I've watched this guy just really grow, and it's phenomenal what you're doing. I think the world really needs it. Earlier I asked you, where do you think a lot of these negative thoughts come from? Look at what we're dealing with in the political cycle and the 24/7 news that we see, and certainly the regurgitation on social media. It is a negative world, so this information is more important now than I think ever, and I appreciate what you're doing.
I agree. Thanks so much, buddy. Love you, brother.